Yes, everybody, welcome back to What the Devil. Welcome back to United View YouTube channel. Today, we are going to be talking about all of the latest stuff going on at Manchester United. I am your host, Dylan, obviously today, as I am every week at 1 p.m. on a Thursday. But there's actually plenty to get through today for once. And recently, I've had probably about one of the best months on as a United fan that I've had, in the last 12, 13, maybe even 15, 16 months. Because we've not lost. I've only played 3 games, but I've sat there and I've gone, I've loved the high of, beating Sunderland, going into the international break, feeling good. A bit worried about Liverpool. And then Liverpool game comes on. And then, bang, beat Liverpool. And so I'm like, I'm just loving this high. Now, don't know. We're going to beat Brighton. They're a bit of our boga team. Bang, beat Brighton 4-2. Smash them. Best game yet. And now, I don't know if it's just me here. But, my opinions on Amorim are still a little here and there. But I'm just looking forward to watching my team play football again. It's been so long since I've seen my team play. Well, it feels like it's been so long. Obviously, it's only been a few days since Saturday evening. But it's just so good to have the feeling of wanting to see them play again. But in the latest news, what's happened at Manchester United, the big news that's come out in the last hour or so is Lisandro Martinez is finally back in full training. So, as far as, what Manchester United have said, is that Lisandro Martinez has rejoined full training with the squad for the first time today. Well, for the first time, obviously, since February when he got his ACL injury against Crystal Palace in that 2-0 loss. So Rúben Amorim last week was still very unsure of putting an actual return date onto Martinez in terms of getting back on the pitch. But this is a big piece of news for us. I really think so. But make sure, first of all, before we get into it, smash that like button, subscribe, get your comments in, have a chat with me, because it's just me today. You guys are my co-hosts today. So I want to be talking about football. But so start with G Nadirify. Botched that. Looking forward to Rúben Amorim proving me wrong. Nottingham Forest dub, and I am back in. When you say back in, how back in? Are you locked in again? Because for me, it's going to take a little bit more. I feel like United fans at the moment, we have this 5-game kind of thing where if we win 5 games in a row, then we're back. Amorim is, he's the one, he's at the wheel. But do you think that might have been caused by the guy who's growing his hair a lot? I feel like 5 wins in a row has become such a massive thing at the minute, purely because he, obviously, the 5th win in a row is so big for him. It's become almost massive for all of us. But with Lisandro Martinez returning, it's an interesting topic of conversation, isn't it? Because Luke Shaw has been meh to start the season. I'd say left centre-back, he wasn't fantastic up until the Man City loss, the 3-0 loss. But ever since that Chelsea game where we beat Chelsea 2-0, I actually think he's been pretty good. Now, I'm a very harsh critic of Luke Shaw. I've been a very harsh critic of Luke Shaw for a long time because I feel like he keeps, popping in, popping out. You've got the whole, it's a World Cup year, so Luke Shaw is going to be playing amazing. He's going to be fit, or he won't be fit for United, but he'll end up fit for England. But I do feel a little bit of a more permanent term with Luke Shaw. And the reason I say that is because it's not just him. The people who had the injury issues last season and the season before, so Kobbie Mainoo last season, Mason Mount since he joined, Luke Shaw all the time, they are fit and they're continuing to be fit. Like Luke Shaw, yes, granted he's playing once a week, but he's playing 90 minutes, and no one, it's not a big thing now. It's not like oh my God, Luke Shaw's played 90 minutes for the first time in God knows how. He's just doing it every week. But with Lisandro Martinez returning, how easy is it going to be for Martinez to slip into that left centre-back role? Because I don't think it's going to be long before we see Martinez again. Chris Amoy in the comments says, even at his best, Shaw is still not as good as Martinez. I agree. Shaw and Martinez, I think, are kind of similar. Obviously, they're great with the ball at their feet. They're kind of similar stature. I know Shaw's a little taller than Martinez, but Martinez obviously a little more aggressive than Shaw. I think we're going to see, with Martinez coming back, it's going to be a good time for United. And someone that I think is really going to benefit from this, by the way, more than anyone else, is Matheus Cunha. Because Lisandro Martinez, think back to when we beat City at the Etihad 2-1 last season. Think back to that ball Martinez played to Ahmad. Think now about who's playing in that channel. It's Cunha. Like Cunha, obviously, he scored his first goal on the weekend, but he's been working so hard and he's been so aggressive. That little left-hand flank of Cunha and at the front, like leading the front three, Like, obviously, there's 3 at the front, 3 at the back. The left of the front 3 is Cunha. The left of the back 3 is Martinez. 2 South Americans who will work and die for this badge. But what about potentially Luke Shaw then going at left centre-back? I don't know what you guys think about Dorgu, right? Because I feel Dorgu's been he's been a mixed bag, hasn't he? He's 20, still he's like a year younger than Toby Collier, for example. Like he's 21 now, isn't he? Just turned 21. But I just think Dorgu, there's a chance here with AFCON for us to see a couple changes, right? If you got Martinez at left centre-back, you've then got maybe Luke Shaw at left wing-back, and then Dorgu at right wing-back. I can see something going on there. I could say like that in terms of AFCON. I feel like that's the way we're going to get forward. Bonehead says, I don't get the hate with Dorgu. I see a decent player in him, still so young. Yeah, no, I agree with this. I think his obviously Nick has said this many times when he came on What the Devil, is that he feels like Dorgu is a great athletic profile, right? He's athletic and strong and quick enough to play in the Premier League. Like that's something since day one of him arriving from Italy, that's never really been in doubt, has it? He's fast, strong, quick. It's just his technical side. Because if you're a wing-back, it gets to a point where if you have, I believe all he's got is 1 assist for us so far this season. I know his role, so far in his United career, I know his role is different. His role is different to Ahmad on the other side. And obviously Ahmad and Mbeumo are creating a fantastic duo at the minute. But I do think that Dorgu could benefit from being played as a right wing back in the next couple games once Ahmad is off with Ivory Coast to AFCON. Because I don't know if you remember, it was one of the last games of the season. Who was it the last game of the season we played against? I think it might have been... It was the Aston Villa game, so literally the final game of the season. If I remember correctly, Dorgu played at right wing back, and he was putting in some back post crosses that were fantastic. He was putting in some really, with his cutting in with his left foot. He was putting in deep crosses right into the back post, which I think were better than what we've seen with him on the left-hand side. So you got Luke Shaw on the left-hand side who can, he still deliver a ball. And then Dorgu on the right-hand side who can also, cross to that back post, to the left back post, obviously, from the right. And you've got Benjamin Šeško, obviously, up, looking for them. It could be a good little pairing. Like, the whole AFCON thing, I think with Martinez coming back, it really helps negate the issues that we're going to have during AFCON. Because if I get this up right now, just the games that the AFCON boys are set to miss, if you give me just 1 second, so the group games, it'll be Aston Villa away, Newcastle at home, and Nottingham Forest at home, which are due to take place during the group stage. So those are the games confirmed to be missing. Aston Villa away, Villa have not been the same force they were last season. So, and also being away from home, maybe having Dorgu and Shaw as left and right wing backs gives them maybe a little bit. Right, yeah, a couple technical difficulties, but we are here, we are back. The Wi-Fi went down for a split second, but it should be back now. I've noticed there's the DR Sports stream also went down, but they are also back. But obviously, Manchester United. Press conference. It's coming out soon. All right, okay. What we are going to be doing as well is, when the press conference comes out, is reacting to what Rúben Amorim is saying. I mean, this is according to Man United's the app. I don't know if that was a mistake or not, because I don't remember it being Thursday. But when the comments come in, we're going to be talking about that. But what I was going to talk about before I got rudely cut off by our internet is that Bryan Mbeumo has been named as a nominee for the Premier League Player of the Month. And now, I said something the other day on Twitter. I don't know if any of you guys follow me on Twitter. DYLYANO, Diliano. I tweeted out that I reckon Bryan Mbeumo starts at right wing for 19 of the 20 clubs in the Premier League. The only club he doesn't start for at right wing is Arsenal, because he starts up front instead. But I reckon Mbeumo would be one of the top, he's one of the top attackers in the league. You can't score 20 league goals last season, get a £65 million move to Manchester United, and effectively hit the ground running at Old Trafford from minute one. Decent against Arsenal, great against Fulham, great against Burnley, scored against Grimsby, obviously scored against Burnley as well. Won our Player of the Month award for August. Then in September, obviously we didn't have a great time, but he did well against, is it gone again? We are back. Yeah, we haven't. Sorry, continual technical difficulties. Well, we're gonna plow through. We're gonna see how it all goes. But I just think Mbeumo, scored away against Liverpool. Lovely assist for Mount's goal against Sunderland, and then obviously he played them very, very well, scoring 2 goals against Brighton. He's I've not felt so safe about a big major transfer. £65 million signing. And I'm like, cool, sweet. No one talks about his transfer fee. This is the kind of thing. I think it's such a good, barometer of how good a signing is when people stop talking about the fee. Like, for example, Juan Mata, right? That was a record transfer fee at the time. No one ever mentions that, because Mata was fantastic for us. Erling Haaland, 60 odd million that Man City paid for him. Obviously, no one speaks about it at all, because it was a sick signing. I feel like Mbeumo's in that category. No one talks about the fact that we spent 65 million on him. He was one of the most expensive Premier League transfers last summer. No one talks about it because it was worth every damn penny. And what a guy! I feel so safe having him as our right winger, even playing up front. Even if he was to play at wing back, it's fantastic. And we're starting to see the same with Cunha as well. Cunha is starting to create a sort of floor of his performances, isn't he? Where Matheus Cunha, that you might not get the goal or the assist every time, as he's still starting to get on the full groove of stuff. But Cunha is starting, his work rate, his ideas, they've kicked up a notch, and they feel a bit more like he's just so in the flow of all this stuff. But what I do want to speak about as well is Rúben Amorim, Manager of the Month nominee. But we all know what's going to happen. He's going to get it, isn't he? Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought Rúben Amorim, Manager of the Month in October? After August and September, you said to me at the end of September, next month, United are probably going to win Player of the Month for the Premier League and Manager of the Month for the Premier League. I laughed at you. Well, got Sunderland at home, Liverpool away, and Brighton at home. Sunderland, obviously, we did beat, and you'd think that hopefully we would have. But then Brighton at home, we lost 3 on the trot, Old Trafford against them. And it's Liverpool, we hadn't won there in a decade. In almost a decade. But Rúben Amorim has... I'm finding it really hard to speak about him at the moment in terms of where I sit with him. Because how I feel about Amorim is, from day one, I've said this on United View, I've said this on DR Sports, I've said this on my own Instagram, TikTok, and all of that stuff. I've always said, as a guy, as a bloke, I think he's fantastic, and I love the guy. He's one of the first managers I've looked at and thought, you get it in terms of how you're meant to go about. So obviously he's gone about stuff questionably, but the big decisions that he's made off the pitch, so in terms of like who he's promoting, captaincy, who he's signing, who he's getting rid of, all of that, him, the board, working all together. It's the worst period we've been through, but one of the most harmonious ways we've been, as a whole group, with board, manager, players. Everyone's much more aligned than they used to be. It was just, I kept banging on about the fact that I was like, you're not taking the small wins. This is the issue I had, is that there were so many small little changes you could make, right? Where it could have been, you can play this player slightly here, or you give him a different role, give him this, give him that, and he wasn't doing it. It hit like when we were playing against Arsenal, and then Fulham, and then Burnley, and City, Chelsea, Brentford. I was looking at all these games going, why are you playing like this? Why are you not letting your players play a bit to their instincts more? But in the last 3 games, he has. His last 3 games, Rúben Amorim has changed, made these small wins. Yeah, so Boneheart in the comments says small wins have turned into big results. That's exactly what I'm getting on. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Is that Rúben Amorim, he's making these small changes, right? Where he's allowing his players to play a little bit more to their own instincts, right? And what that means, for me, the thing I take from that more than anything else, is that means Rúben Amorim is trusting his players a bit more, right? I think he does. I think he trusts these players a lot more than he trusts the previous lot. Like, he clearly didn't trust Garnacho properly. He didn't trust Rashford. He didn't trust Højlund. He didn't trust these guys. But he trusts his new guys. Like, Le Mans even now, Amorim said last week he's surprised about how Le Mans has been, like how fantastic he's been and commanding he's been in his net. I feel like he's trusting the 23-year-old more than more than he thought he would have, if that makes sense, beforehand. Šeško, I bet he's trusting him a little bit more than he did. Like, that Brighton performance was probably his best one yet. I thought it was great. Got the lovely assist. Probably should have scored. He needs to calm down a bit in front of goal. But what striker we can have on our hands there. He's trusting Cunha. He's trusting... Like, he's even trusting, like, Casemiro again. He was... Casemiro, this time last year... Well, not this time last year. But about 10 months ago, he was gone. He was so gone, wasn't he? He didn't play. There are like 12 games where he played about 15 minutes. What happens when Maswari and Dyche are back? Well, Maswari's going off to AFCON in a couple of weeks. And I think currently... Maswari is what you'd say 3rd choice right centre back. But realistically, I think Maguire and Yoro are playing over him. He's had a lot of issues. He'll go to AFCON, maybe get his fitness back up at AFCON, then he'll come back and then return. Like, that's when we're starting to get 2 games a week anyway. Like, FA Cup action is back, couple like double game weeks here and there, and all of that. What were we talking about before? Yeah, Rúben Amorim and his small wins. Yeah, it's like doing things like allowing Cunha to drop back a bit more. That helps our midfield, almost helps us create a midfield 3. And it helps Matheus Cunha play in his best role, which is, obviously he's playing on that left 10. But he drops and he carries. That's what he's so good at, Matheus Cunha, is he drops, carries, beats his man. And he works so damn hard. That instead of Cunha playing such a high line, that's where Cunha thrives, plays on his instinct a bit more. And Mbeumo, he seems to be at his best playing on his instinct when he's playing as almost like a second striker at points. See the runs, for example, that Mbeumo is making at the moment in the last 3 games. He's making these diagonal runs where he starts kind of near Ahmad and he just shoots across the opposition left centre back, aims at the opposition right centre back, who's meant to be marking Cunha, and they suddenly don't know what to do. And Mbeumo's in space, bang. Cuts in, shoots. Cuts in, crosses. Cuts in this. Cuts in that. It's so good just to watch these players play to their instincts a bit more. I'm just so happy about it. Quick drinks break. But yeah, let me know what you guys also are thinking about Rúben Amorim at the moment. Like, have you changed? This is what I ask. Have you changed your stance on Amorim? So let me know what your stance was before. I.e., let's say, after the City loss, for example, after we lost against Brentford, what was your stance on Amorim then, and what is it now? Have there been changes? Because this is the kind of thing, this is the thing I want to discuss with you guys. Is the new Man United, quote-unquote, that we're seeing, permanent? Is this a permanent change and a permanent shift in us to become better? Like, Fizzle Out says, league title race on if we hit 5 out of 5 after Tottenham. It's a question. No. Let's not talk about this stuff, yeah? We're just happy, right? I know we're Man United, we're the big Man United, blah, blah, blah. We're just happy to be winning games, man. I like going from game to game, watching ballers ball, players play. I like watching Šeško score. I like watching Cunha run through. I like watching Bruno Fernandes. I like watching Lenny Yoro, even Matthias de Ligt at the minute. I've been thinking one of our best players of the season. It's not a conversation we should be having. If we are... 5-6 points off first in March, fine, then you go, all right, top 4, that's the conversation, looking forward, getting up there. But we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to no one, because no one rates us. Nobody in this league, I say the vast majority of football fans, they don't rate us at the moment anyway. So we just need to do our thing, win a couple games, maybe beat Forest. Forest is another one where all three, as I said before, all 3 games I got very worried about, right? Every time, so let me just also get up the press conference stuff quickly. Because the press conference, by the way, it's in about 4 minutes. Rúben Amorim's press conference is coming up. Obviously, we asked about Lisandro Martinez and everything. We will be covering that here. But it's just, for me, it's, I've completely forgotten where I am now. It's been a really long day for me. I didn't get enough sleep. Dylan, just say we're going to win the league. Look, no, we're not winning the league, man. We're not going to win the league. I'm okay with that. All I want, I want top 4. I want Champions League spots. Do you know how good that will be for Rúben Amorim? Rúben Amorim gets in the Champions League spots. All of us, including me, I'll be back on his side. I was on his side initially. I like it. As I said before, I like him as a guy. Overall, I think he's got so much to learn, so much the way he acts himself sometimes. Obviously, it's easy when you're winning. We're seeing this with Slot, right? Last season, I was saying, Slot, class act. Class guy that Arne Slot is. He's doing well. He's acting, he's not being this pompous manager who's going, we're the best in the league, best in the world. But then as soon as the going gets tough, Arne Slot, I've big time changed my mind on that guy. I don't know if it's on purpose with Slot. I don't know if it's the fact that he's just deflecting away from the fact that his players have lost, 5 out of their last 6 games. But wow, that guy talks about set pieces, all of this, all of that. I just think that we got to let us do our thing, man. I like Rúben Amorim as a guy. I want him to succeed here more than I've wanted any other manager. I want him to succeed here. I'd love it if he can be that guy to bring us back to the top over anyone, because I think he's quality as a person. Then it was Solskjaer, I think, and then Mourinho in terms of who I had the most want to succeed. Irrespective of what I actually feel about them as managers, this is the other side, is that I've wanted Amorim to succeed the most, but at the same time, I've looked at Amorim, and by the end of September, I was going, he's not changing his ways. He doesn't change his stuff. He's not taking. We're talking about the small wins, is what I'm saying. But now we're doing them, and I'm just happy about that. Yes, implement your style over the course of a season, right? You've got all the training weeks. We're getting into December. If we can keep this run going into December, maybe only lose one of our next 3 or 4. We're heading into December, 6 Premier League games. That'll be huge for us. If we can finish the new year in and around 5th, 6th, 4th. Big for us, big for Amorim. But it's just, I'm finally starting to see that Rúben Amorim is understanding where he must be going with all of this. So his press conference, Dutch Ten Hag, says fizzle out. Are you 100% sure you know where Erik Ten Hag is from? Just a question. He does remind me of a lot of Ten Hag with all his deflecting. Yeah, talking about Slot. Yeah, he does. Yeah, you guys aren't remembering that Ten Hag's Dutch, are you? He's Dutch. Drew Stew says, I will support the manager until the structure above remove him. I believe all the structure are in place for a steady progress. We will struggle, but the response has to come right after. Maybe that is the joke with the Ten Hag thing. But this is I like Jason Wilcox. I like Omar Barada. I think some of the targets that we had were a bit iffy. And I think that Christopher Vival, by the way, is really underappreciated in this. I don't know if you guys have seen that the Jason Wilcox interview that came out this morning from Manchester United. But it was effectively, he was saying that Mbeumo and Cunha, they settled in quickly, they're Premier League players, but apparently they are very happy with Le Mans and Šeška. I mean, who isn't? We all are. We think they're absolute quality signings. And you are, I'm exhausted. I mean, I'm sat here with an energy drink, aren't I? I'm absolutely exhausted. I was busy hate watching last night. Really, really strong hate watching. But there's plenty coming out right now on Rúben Amorim. And his, big up Star Lord. Make sure you get your likes in the chat, get your comments and everything. But we are now moving on to Rúben Amorim's press conference, and everything's come out at once. So, on Lisandro Martinez, Rúben Amorim has said he wants to go to this one, Forest. He isn't going to this one. So, confirmed, Lisandro Martinez will not be travelling with the squad to face Forest on Saturday, which is fair enough. I mean, he only come back to training today. Like, good, fair enough. He's going to need time. He has started training with us slowly. He's getting better. It's really good. He gives us that edge. He gives us that edge in every training session. That's also really good for us. The rest of the guys, we have one day. I don't know about Harry Maguire. The rest are fit. So there you go. Rúben Amorim's confirming there. Lisandro Martinez will not be in the squad. Harry Maguire still waiting to see after he got a knock against... was it against Liverpool, or was that just after the Liverpool game he got a knock? He then wasn't available against Brighton. But yeah, that's the latest news. Everyone else fit and ready to go, which is lovely. Basically, a full squad bar Martinez and maybe Harry Maguire. But that's all right. Lisandro Martinez is back. Some other things. Rúben Amorim's also been talking about the Amad and Mbeumo partnership, and obviously they are both going to AFCON, as we've been speaking earlier. And what Rúben Amorim said on this is, we will have time to suffer. There's that word again. We are going to struggle a little bit, but we already knew it's going to be an opportunity. When I watch the training, there are players that should be playing, but it's hard with one game to take some players from the team because they know they are doing well also during the training in games. So other players are going to have the opportunity to help us. They are understanding in the way that we play, so that if we're improving on that, the change of characteristics is not going to change the idea or momentum of the team. But let's use Amad and Brian in these games, and we will see in general. How serious was Martinez's injury? He's been out for too long. Is Amorim just being cautious? I mean, he snapped his ACL. He snapped his ligament in his knee. So, serious. Very, very serious. Yeah, it's better to be cautious with this. Like there were reports saying that Martinez was meant to come 2 weeks ago. That come back to training 2 weeks ago. Obviously, they're being super, super cautious. I reckon, yeah. So he misses this game. Then it's the international break, I believe. Then the Spurs game, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong with that one. But I think, yeah, it's the right decision to Martinez not to come in. But in terms of the Amad and Mbeumo partnership, yeah. I mean, Amorim's right, isn't he? He's saying we're going to struggle without them. Yeah, of course we are. And Mbeumo's player of the month probably this month for us and in the Premier League. He's got 5 goals this season. We are going to struggle with them. But as I was saying at the beginning of the show, for those of you who may not have been watching at that point, I was talking about how Dorgu at right wing back and Shaw at left wing back could be a good way to negate this and potentially see a debut for Shea Lacey. Because our front three, right, without Mbeumo and Amad, it's going to be Šeško up front. And then I'm probably going to say Cunha on the left. And then would it be Mount on the right? Or is it going to be Bruno Fernandes on the right? And are we going to see Kobbie Mainoo start for the first time in the Premier League this year? Because in this the Amad and Mbeumo thing that Amorim's talking about here, other players are going to have opportunity to help us. This is what he's saying. Starlo says Dyche will be a key player. Mark my words, 100%, mate. He will. I mean, Amorim loves him. We know this. He absolutely loves him. But I reckon this is the other thing. So if we're building our AFCON's best starting 11 without the AFCON trio who are all going to AFCON in Amad, Mbeumo and Mazraoui, I'm thinking Casemiro in DM, Kobbie Mainoo next to him, Bruno on the right, Šeško up top, Cunha on the left, and then Shaw on the left flank, and then Dorgu on the right flank. That personally, will be that's what I would want to see us playing. Obviously, we're playing twice a week in these games, so there's going to be switches around. Mainoo will be starting. Ugarte might be starting next to Bruno at points because Casemiro can't do 90 minutes twice a week, can he? But that's where Arsenal fans are voting Amorim manager of the month because we beat Liverpool. Yeah, man. You're welcome, Arsenal. I walked into the studio day after that, or a couple of days after that game, saw Laurie, saw Jack, saw Robbie, and all the other Arsenal and the AFTV boys. And I said, you're welcome. You're welcome. We done what you couldn't. We gave you the 3 points that you couldn't get against Liverpool. You are welcome, mate. I believe Mazraoui is also going to AFCON. Yeah, he is. So the right wing-back options with Mazraoui going to AFCON as well as Amad, it's basically Dalot or Dorgu. And are you going to tell me that you want to see Dalot? Look, I like Dalot as a guy, and as a full-back, he's fantastic, but as a wing-back, he's just not cutting it. He just really isn't cutting it at the moment. So I'm saying Dorgu right wing-back, Shaw left wing-back. And I just think, interesting. Maybe give Diego Leon some minutes, but I do want to see, at some point in December, Shea Lacey start. Like, as Amorim's been saying here, there are players who are going to have opportunities to help us. If it's Bruno Fernandes playing up front, and then we're 2-0 up against whoever we're playing, let's say we've got Wolves at home, don't we? Towards the end of December. Bruno can play up front 60 minutes, then, move him back. Shea Lacey for 30 minutes. Just do it. We'd love to see it. What else have you been saying? Oh, yeah. So, Sean Dyche, obviously ages ago, when Amorim was first in the United job, claimed that he reckons he would get more points than Rúben Amorim with the squad that he had. Rúben Amorim has finally had his chance to respond, because obviously Sean Dyche, I believe it's his first home Premier League fixture with Forest. Obviously, I know they beat Porto at home, but I believe it's their first home Premier League fixture. And following the comments from Dyche ages ago on Stick to Football saying that he reckoned he'd get more points for Manchester United than Rúben Amorim would, he said, first of all, maybe it's true if we play 4-4-2. We won more games, but I always said that I have a way of playing that it's going to take a while, but in the future it's going to be better. So we don't know that. Then I look at Sean Dyche as a manager and then as a pundit. If you are a pundit and you don't say very strong things, I don't want to watch you. I'm the same. So I can understand that it's a completely different job. I know Sean Dyche is really smart and he knows how to play the game. And he also understands that one thing is when you are seeing the game and talking about the game, the other thing is to coach a team. So I understand that. I have nothing to say. I just want to win the next game. Is Rúben Amorim firing shots? Is he? Is he firing shots a little bit here? I reckon he might be. Because basically he's saying you can talk the talk, but I don't think you can walk the walk. I might be reading this wrong, but that's how I see what Rúben Amorim is saying here. He's saying it's a completely different job. Obviously, punditry. Obviously, I can't manage a football team, can I? Give me this Manchester United squad and I would finish dead last. But I just think that Rúben Amorim here is, being a bit feisty, which is how a United manager should be. I mean, the best press conferences were always when Ole was taking shots, wasn't it? It was when Jose Mourinho was taking shots. It was when Van Gaal was being weird. It was it's Rúben Amorim. Like once you get this win, this momentum you're building, there's something to fire you on as well. Like Forest, we've had so many problems with Forest, haven't we? Like playing them in recent seasons, especially at the City ground. The last time we beat them was in the FA Cup, I believe. It was Casemiro's 89th minute winner at the Forest ground from a Bruno Fernandes free kick, I want to say. Free kick cross in the FA Cup. Obviously, I think we went on to win the FA Cup that season. That was, season before last. But in the league, it's been a bit dire. I mean, last season, they beat us 3-2 at home. And then I think the season before that, we beat them 3-2, but they went 2-0 up inside 5 minutes. Like, Forest is another one of those games where I'm thinking Rúben Amorim needs to, dispel the demons. Because that's what we've been doing of late, haven't we? It's like, obviously, promoted sides Amorim's always been fine with. So when we beat Sunderland, it's kind of like, Rúben Amorim's beaten another side that's just been promoted. Cool. We did that under Amorim anyway. Then it was a Liverpool game. It was, 10 years. It's not quite a decade, but almost a decade. That's hanging over our heads. That's been hanging over our heads for half a decade. Since they hit 4 or 5 years without wins. Daniel James Falcon says, where has this podcast been? It's What the Devil. Every Thursday at 1 p.m. Although the times may change soon. That's the whole thing. But, I'm here. I'm Dylan. I'm your host. But it's dispelling demons, isn't it? It's Brighton, one of only two teams in Premier League history to have won back-to-back games at Old Trafford. It's infuriating. And then we told them each turnaround, scored 4 and went, hold that. Danny Welbeck's goal, for example, that shouldn't have ever happened. Yeah, Le Mans should have saved it, but also the free kick should have been 10 yards back. We should have even had a penalty. I mean, maybe Mbeumo's first goal shouldn't have stood. The pull on Shaw, I kind of agree with Gary Neville on that point, although he talked about it for way too long. But what I think about Forest is it's another game where, we can beat down another demon. Amorim's been saying, the past year, he's been saying quite a lot, hasn't he? He's been talking about how, we keep thinking too much about the past. The past keeps catching up with us, whatever. We keep thinking about it. So, we go into the Brighton game going, these guys always beat us, so they're going to beat us again. Whereas now, we beat that Liverpool. We broke that Anfield streak. We broke that streak of Brighton winning Old Trafford. Now, we need to break the streak of just not playing well and not winning Premier League games at the City ground. This is what I got to say. Got to switch the time lot so I can catch this live. Competing with the Arsenal was always going to be pain. Yep, that is very true. Look, we're going to work on it. I'm going to talk with Flex about it as well, so Flex can start coming back on here as well. But that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, I just think that we need to keep breaking these demons. Like Spurs away again, it's another one. Like Spurs away since Ronaldo left, we had that I believe it was a 3-0 win against Spurs, right, where Ronaldo scored that lovely goal. That's, maybe the last time we beat Spurs away from home. Like, it's these games coming up where, I mean, every team's been our bogey team in the last 12 months because we keep losing in the Premier League. But it's these kind of things where to break the chains and break from the past, these are the kind of results you need to win. It's Forest away. It's a fantastic chance to. Like, they beat Porto, but that was with 2 penalties. They then lost, and I can't remember who they lost against, but they lost in their most recent game. They are in the pits in terms of the Premier League, and they're up what? Like, they are what? I want to say they're 19th, I believe. Are they 19th in the Premier League, or are they 18th? Let me find for you guys. Clearly one of the most informed people in football I am right now. 18th with 5 points, and then West Ham 4 points. Like, Fulham are then the one above them. Like, Forest have drawn 1 and lost their last 4 in the Premier League. Like, it's just so... We need to get rid of these kind of results in these kind of games. And the more we do it, the more we break the chains, we break those links, we can finally start fresh with this kind of stuff. I reckon if Frank, United Strand, gets his hair cut, mate, that's going to be a glorious day. If we beat Forest, it's then that Spurs away game. He cuts his hair by us beating Sunderland at home, Liverpool away, Brighton at home, Forest away, Spurs away. Games that we'd lost, maybe 4. We lost 4 out of those 5 games last season. Obviously, Sunderland being the promoted team, we didn't play for them. But Liverpool away. Actually, we drew Liverpool away, but then we lost to Brighton. We either drew or we lost to Forest because Langer scored, and then we lost to Spurs as well. I think we lost to Spurs. The run after Tottenham is looking mighty sweet as long as the team keep the standards and don't assume they are going to win because they are a lesser team, says Ginad AFI. Yeah. The issue with that run, though, is that it's not 1 game a week. Don't expect 5-6 wins on a bounce here, guys. Like, maybe 4 wins out of those 6 games in December. 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. I am coming out of that beaming. Every team's losing at the moment, right? Don't expect the world from those games because it's twice a week. The players who have been so essential for us, basically it's Casemiro, is the one who's been so essential for us at the moment, as well as Mbeumo and Ahmad. They're not here. So do understand that these games in December, they're sweet games. It's a good run, but it might not be the perfect one that you think about. A couple of comments are also talking about Lisandro Martinez and the line-breaking passes. Yes. This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying that I think Matheus Cunha, more than anybody, is going to benefit from Lisandro Martinez coming back. Line-breaking passes, finding Cunha's runs. Because Cunha's quick. He's magic, he's special, and he's just fantastic. The two of them together, the South American duo, the left of the front 3 and the left of the back 3, it could be so essential for us. Because I think at the moment we can all agree that our left-hand side's a bit meh at points, isn't it? Like, our right-hand side is so... I know they're going off to AFCON now, but they are so locked in. Ahmad and Mbeumo, and then if it's Yoro or Maguire or Dyche, whatever, on that right-hand side, with Casemiro also playing kind of off them, it's so locked in. It's so good. It's been fantastic. Whereas our left-hand side has been so-so, right? Because we've had different left wing-backs playing. It's been Dorgu, it's been Dallo, it's been here, it's been there. Obviously, Luke Shaw's been the only constant, and then you got... Is it Mount? Is it Cunha starting at the left, like the front of the left 3? But now, if Lisandro Martinez can come back, bring that, use his ball progression. Martinez's ball progression is elite, but I don't think he defends well in wide areas at times. That is true. This is why I'm interested to see if Luke Shaw, Martinez duo, pretty much on the left flank can work. But I guess we'll find out. We'll find out as time comes along. But lastly, I want to ask you guys in the chat for your score predictions for the game against Nottingham Forest. Look, I want Šeško. If I was to pick a single player to score, Benjamin Šeško. I want him to score, and I want him... His 2 goals, I think, have been good. Obviously, his first goal was like 3 yards out, and he had like 3 attempts at it. But his second goal was a very good piece of attacking play. It's right area, right time, flicking the ball on 2 yards out of goal against Sunderland. And then his assist against Brighton was the single best thing he's done since he's joined the club. It was brilliant from Mbeumo's first goal. But I'd love Šeško to score. I'm going to go with a... Are we keeping a clean sheet? You know what? I reckon we are keeping a clean sheet. That's the first time I said that in so long, I think. Sen Lemons, get your second clean sheet, buddy. I love that guy. But, I reckon clean sheet, 2 goals, maybe even 3. But I mean, Forest will shore up a lot more, right? They'll be on us with those second balls, those long balls. Like, they got Elliot Anderson, who's like won more recoveries, I think, than any other midfielder in the Premier League this season. So if we're looking to win the second balls, that's not an easy player to win second balls against. But I'm going to agree with Gene Adify here, say 2-0. You've got Court says 3-1 win, but we'll concede from a corner. Fizzolat says their defence will be solid. Dyche says, I'll be happy with a 2-0 with a Sesko header. Oh, yeah, fantastic. I'd love that. Sesko header. Who's crossing the ball for Sesko? Bruno Fernandes? Mbeumo? Cunha? I don't know. I don't see Cunha as much of a crosser. Jamie says 3-1 Mbeumo, goal. And then I'm not sure what the other emojis are about. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm looking forward to it. It's a dangerous thing to say, being a United fan, saying you're looking forward to a game, because it almost always means we're going to lose. But, like, I can't help it. We've not lost in a month. We've scored 8 goals in the last 3 games, only conceded 3. Sen Lemons looks fantastic. Loving the front 3. Bruno Fernandes looking great. And in the future, in the next 6 weeks, I'm looking forward to seeing Kobbie Mainoo. I think will come back into action, especially once AFCON kicks off and he'll have more space and there'll be more opportunity for him to play. But apart from that, guys, it has been fantastic speaking with you guys today. I know we had the technical difficulties with the Wi-Fi cutting in and out. Apologies for that, but, sometimes... Oh, Boomer celebration is a shrug. Yeah, I hear it now. Fair play. Well done, well done. It's a good celebration as well, isn't it? Just like this. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Hopefully, we'll beat Nottingham Forest. We'll be talking 4 in a row, looking ahead to that Spurs game after the international break. But yeah, my name is Dylan. I've been your host today, and I am live currently at 1 p.m. every Thursday to go through all this stuff, and I will see you soon.